With the release of My Hero Academia chapter 364, the seemingly unthinkable happened. That's right, you all know what I'm talking about. We got to see Daddy all for one naked. Alright, I'm kidding. Of course not. However, Bakugo did get revived in one of the most contrived, anticlimactic, disappointing ways conceivably possible. And so today I want to discuss how this event seemingly made all of the My Hero Academia fanbase lose their marbles and what I would have done differently by combining real world logic with the logic of My Hero Academia. But first, let's rewind. My Hero dropped one of its greatest chapters ever with chapter 362, after seemingly losing its spark with many of its fans as the final arc continued, myself included. I went from thinking that My Hero Academia was one of the best modern shonen around and was going to be an all-time classic, to now thinking, well, it's alright, I guess. Now, of course, that is an incredibly reactionary opinion, but guess what? We live in a very reactionary world. Now, I am sure that it probably will be a classic, and in a few years' time when I decide to reread it perhaps, my opinion will change. Because guess what? People change. Character development is not just limited to pixels on a screen. Real life humans go through it as well.
Very false. Very false.
True.
No, very false.
Back to the point though. Chapter 362 made everyone pause for a moment and think. Damn, Horikoshi, I see what you're cooking now. This shit is sick. Bakugo had died in an emotional way. His heart had literally exploded into pieces. Like, I can count at least 1, 2, 3, like 20 pieces of debris here. Everything suddenly looked all honky-dory, and MHA's sudden twist had pulled in the lost fans. And well, yeah, okay, it did lose some as well.
I'm not believing this until I get some fucking panels. This ain't true.
I'm literally crying.
No. I was joking.
No.
But the point I'm trying to make is that this was the moment everyone realised that MHA was special. To have the balls to kill off one of, if not the series' most popular character, all to seemingly build up to the reveal of Deku's final quirk was magnificent. But then it all went to shit. Mickey Mouse Academia, My Hero Clubhouse. Names like these had begun being handed out by the community. Overnight, the series had seemingly become a massive laughingstock, to the point where even some of its biggest fans had had enough, because Horikoshi managed to take one of the most revolutionary, shocking, jaw-dropping moments of the entire series and turn it into the biggest meme in anime. Now, it's not the revival of Bakugo per se that I'm pissed off about. Okay, that's a lie. Let me reword it slightly. It's not the idea of Bakugo's revival which annoys me, it's the execution of it. Here is what I personally would have done differently. So in chapter 362, we see Bakugo acknowledge that he is trailing behind Deku and question whether he could ever catch him up. Where Bakugo once looked up to All Might as his inspiration for strength, he now looks up to Deku, which follows the core theme of the series regarding passing the torch on to the next generation. Bakugo replacing All Might with Deku solidifies this. Bakugo blamed himself for the downfall of All Might and the subsequent rise of All for One, and so his sacrifice for Deku and the heroes around him was a logical and emotional moment. Like I said, one of the best this series has ever produced. Dare I say, goddamn, it was perfect. I would have just left it at that. But if Bakugo had to come back, because I understand how sales and marketing works, removing the fan favourite from the series isn't a great move for sales. That is why plot armour exists. But this is how I think the story should have done it. First of all, don't explode his heart, because automatically by just doing that, any further revival, I am sorry, is bullshit. Instead, just stop the heart. Simple. It has the same effect, but it leaves a slight window of opportunity there to be worked with. Next, use the fact that the area had reached such a high temperature. It literally says in the chapter, a sudden drastic rise in temperature is affecting the weather patterns. Such temperature would have caused Bakugo to sweat whilst his heart was stopping. Explosive sweat induced with nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin just so happens to be super helpful in dealing with a cardiac arrest. And so by combining that real world logic and exaggerating it to anime standards, Horikoshi should have awakened Bakugo's quirk there and then and had the heightened amount of nitroglycerin bring him back. Instead, here is what Horikoshi decided to do. He showcased his heart exploding into smithereens, which makes the only slightly logical method of survival completely impossible. Instead, he opts to go for the most left field, completely ridiculous, contrived route imaginable by trading fucking Edgeshot of all people's lives for Bakugo's. Now we're going to take a quick second and you're going to tell me something interesting about Edgeshot. Go on, I'll be waiting, don't worry. Crack on. What was that? Ah, exactly. Because no one remembers this dude. And those that do, don't care. I am sorry to any Edgeshot fans I have offended there. All one of you. Essentially, he can transform into a heart thanks to his quirk, Foldable, which allows him to control how thin his body is and extend out his limbs. By doing this, he can transform his entire body into a heart. I can't do it. Do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? He became a heart. What the where is the logic here? I don't get it. The worst part is that Horikoshi did this to just further shove the moral of the story down our throats. Don't forget, guys, the torch is passed down through generations, alright? But it's like I said, Bakugo's death already had that same effect. It's just that Hori, for whatever reason, didn't feel like that was clear enough, and so he thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to make it really clear by actually killing one of the older generation to help the new generation. Also, if he can just so happen to transform himself into vital organs now, I still can't believe what I'm saying. But if that is a thing he can do, did you not think, I don't know, fix up All Might? You know, the #1 greatest hero? All of this wouldn't have happened if he had just done that, because All Might would have been able to defeat All for One back at Kamino instead of losing and creating the current state of the world. Now, of course, we wouldn't really have had much of a story if that actually happened, so nerfing All Might is a-okay with me. However, by introducing the concept of magical ninja organ replacement to the story, you've just created an unnecessary plot hole, especially when an alternative, logical solution was already there. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, it's not Bakugo being revived that I'm annoyed about, it is how they did it. I'll see you guys in another video, but until then, bye bye.